So when it comes to business questions such as advertising their business, insurance, technology, human resources, tax, and accounting, the list can go on and on about different types of questions and concerns and issues that business owner has. We have, of course, our small biz consulting section in Go Small Biz. You cannot forget that part of consultation. Because I like to ask business owners, do you hire consultants that impact your limited budget, or do you just throw your money out there and see what sticks so you'll know next time what to do? That's a really good question to ask business owners. I'm going to give you a prime example of how you can actually talk about the importance of the Go Small Biz itself. For instance, I had a girlfriend who had a small business. She had a small business that had a budget of about $5,000 for marketing and advertising. And so I asked her, I said, are you just going to take that $5,000 and you just going to throw it out there and see what sticks? Are you going to throw it out there and see, is direct mail good for you, or is, radio good for you, or should you try, some type of other print, whether, some kind of other publication? Are you going to get flyers distributed somehow, some way? Do you think that that's a great way for you to operate your business and your budget? And she said, well, no. She goes, but Melissa, it's very costly to have a consultant come by. I said, exactly. Well, do you understand that for a flat monthly fee for as little as, and she actually qualified for the legal plan for the self-employed, for a flat monthly fee for as little as $49 a month, you could actually have access to marketing and advertising consultants, which can actually tell you what's the best way for you to spend that $5,000 budget, so you then don't have to just throw it out there and see what sticks. And let's talk about that just a little bit more in depth so you understand that you sometimes have to go in deeper conversation. For instance, this is a true story. She actually had that $5,000 budget, and she actually looked for a consultant, a marketing and advertising consultant in our local area, to come by and actually help her know what was the best way for her to advertise her business, because we know that they have to market and advertise their business. It's very critical to get their name out there. So when she started work that day, she knew she wanted to call a consultant. She got tied up that day. She forgot about it. So the next day she kind of, went into work a little stressed, thinking, okay, I've really got to stop my work day. I've got to find a consultant to come over here and tell me what's the best way to spend my $5,000. And so she finally takes time out of her workday. She gets to her desk. She finds a consultant who is glad to come over and help her spend her $5,000. However, he's not going to come that day, because if he's a good consultant, he's kind of busy. So a few days go by, and so when he comes over to visit with her about her marketing and advertising her business, she gives him the information necessary to operate, the operation of her business, meaning, what she's selling, what demographics is she trying to reach, those types of things. And of course, he's got to go back and do some research if he's a qualified consultant to get back with her to tell her what's going to be best for her. Now, of course, her time obviously is already passing by, so she's missing time on advertising her business in this whole process. Now, she also has to pay him now for his qualified advice. Now, what if he comes back and actually says, this is what I think you should do, and she totally 100% disagrees? Now she's got to find another consultant and go through this whole process, once again spending more time, and once again spending more money out of her $5,000 budget. So, in essence, most small business owners, just like her, would sit back and just simply say, you know what, I'm not going to go through this process anymore. I wasted a lot of time. I've already wasted my marketing budget by getting a consultant. Let me just throw this out there and see what sticks. That's usually what ends up happening. However, with our product, with our consulting aspect of Go Small Biz, that first day she thought about, what's the best way to advertise and market my business? She was able to go on to GoSmallBiz.com. She was able to go to ask the question. She was able to submit that question without worrying about the time passing. Then, within 2 business days, had a qualified answer, and she kept her $5,000 budget completely intact. So you understand, it was very efficient, it was very quick, and it didn't affect her budget when it came to actually finding out what was the best way for her to advertise and market. So sharing that with you is just giving you an insight to, if you just kind of get these stories out there with the business owner, they'll start understanding the value, because she had need, she had in the past some vulnerability. Now she understands the value of just the consulting side on Go Small Biz. The other thing is teach convenience when it comes to part of our process, meaning the consultation and the contract review, they don't have to leave their office. So really on my brochures, when I'm talking to a business owner, underneath consultation, where all the different bullet points are listed, I actually put an asterisk and I put the word convenience. I tell them that that's part of this process as well, that they can just pick up the phone or get to the fax machine or get online. There's no stressing, no guessing, no financial decision to make. Wouldn't that be great? And give you a prime example of what I mean by this. I was actually going to do an employee benefit presentation to an HR director. And she called me back and she said, you know, Melissa, I need to reschedule because the owner of the company heard that I was going to visit with you and she wanted to be part of that meeting. So we rescheduled. So I'm presenting to the HR director, I'm presenting to the business owner on the employee benefits side of this. And I get through part of the employee benefits and the business owner says, well, that sounds all good and great, Melissa. However, that $75 thing that I owned, she didn't even call it a business plan. She said the $75 thing that I owned, you know, I saw the value in it when I was sold the product or the service. She says, but it was so complicated. She said, I didn't know how to utilize it. When I had questions, I didn't know what attorney I needed to call. I didn't know where to find the attorney. And I'm not going to say that that's the associate's fault because, you know, there's a lot of information we share with our prospects. But it is our fault if we don't teach them how to use the service. Remember, I told you that that's part of the process, that we're not just selling them, we teach them how to use it. So I said to her, I stopped doing any of the group side and I went right into small business. And I said to her, I said, well, Linda, let me ask you a question. I said, is that your phone that's sitting right there in front of you on your desk? And she said, yes. I said, do me a favor. Pick up the phone and dial this 1-800 number for me and put it on speaker. So she picked up the phone, she put the phone on speaker, she dialed the 800 number I gave her, which was actually our provider law firm in the state of Texas. And they answered the phone and they said, thank you for calling the law offices of Ross and Matthews. How can I help you? And I said, now hang up the phone quick. And so she hung up the phone, kind of startled, and she kind of looked at me surprised. And I said, well, Linda, that's all you had to do. As one of our business owners with one of our services, all you had to do conveniently right here at your desk was be able to pick up the phone and dial that 1-800 number, and you actually had access to your attorneys, meaning we put your law firm right here in your business. You didn't have to leave. It's that convenient. I said, now is that your fax machine behind you? She said, yes, it is. And I said, well, is your chair on wheels? She said, yes, it is. I said, can you wheel yourself back to that fax machine? You don't even have to get out of your chair. Just wheel yourself back there, put a paper in the machine, and dial a number for me to fax a piece of paper. She said, of course I can. I said, that's all you had to do to have your attorney review contracts and documents for you. You didn't even have to get your butt out of the seat. You could actually have access to your law firm right here in your business without leaving your office, without leaving your chair. You actually had access. That's how convenient this product is. I said, or if you had a consulting question, that's your computer in front of you. All you had to do was log on to your Go Small Biz site. You could have submitted a question. You would have backed your workday. They would have got right back to you. So you understand that it was that convenient anytime you had a question, concern, or issue. Stress, I don't care. There's no more stressing, no more guessing, no financial burden. Just pick up the phone, get to the fax machine, or get online. You have access to our qualified people, whether it's our attorneys or our consultants. All I had to do was say that to her, and she re-signed back up for the business plan. So don't forget to sell the convenience factor, because a lot of business owners don't have time to go look for an attorney, to find an attorney, to drive across town to wait in an attorney's office, or for that attorney to call them back. We actually can get them conveniently access to our attorneys and our consultants. So if you don't have that on your brochure, write it on your brochure just like I do. And also let them know, as a Legal Shield member, this is exactly what they have now. And go back to that before and after chart. Show them that before and after chart where it shows exactly, this is your business, now this is actually your business protected, and now we can help you grow with our Go Small Biz and Legal Shield services.